guys, how are you today? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go for another prompt, shall we? Okay. Dun, da, da, da. Paper. Paper. Right, I'll gather some supplies. Okay, oops. Here's some paper. These are all my scraps that I've used for junk journaling and stuff. So, paper, we are going to decorate our paper. Now, this isn't my original idea. This is from Louisa Heinzel. I can link her video below. Jazz up your scraps collage fodder. So this is what came to mind when we were talking about paper. So I have one of these doofer thingies. You could use a box, a shoe box, a tray, any paper scrap that you have. Now normally I have dirty paint water sitting on my desk, or a palette that doesn't have acrylic like watercolor sitting around. But since I started doing these videos, I've been cleaning up after myself every day. So I don't have any of that fun leftover paint, gray paint. So what I do have is some coffee from the coffee pot. So I'm just going to, you know, coffee dye some stuff, and we can use the paintbrush as Miss Louisa Heinzel did. I'm too awkward with that, so I'll probably just use my fingers. But she used old paint water, and she kind of cleaned out her paint palette, you know, her watercolor paint palette, and added paint to it. It's kind of a stencil. I don't think we'll do that. Woo! Oh, that scared me. I almost spilled the coffee. Anyway, but normally I do have that. So we're just gonna kind of smush and coffee dye first, and then I'll probably take my heat tool and dry some of this up. And then we can go on to the next stage of sprucing up our scraps. And then obviously these are great for collage, junk journaling. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this as a stencil. Kind of picking that out as we go. See if we can. I might tear some pieces up too. It's a tag. We probably don't want to do that. Sometimes I don't know. This is in a box on my desk. I think all artists or scrapbook artists or junk journal artists have bits of scraps because they say don't throw away your scraps, right? All right, I'm going to go through another bit of a round with this coffee. And then I'm just going to heat tool it. Louisa has a gas, or I don't know, she put hers on her stove. Yeah, I mean, I have a gas stove, but no. I'll just take a few minutes and air dry some of these pieces. We'll just go one more round. Oh, you know what else I could do? I just thought of it now. We don't just have to do the coffee dye. I do have some of those springs. I'll probably use the wild honey, a darker color, just to try to keep it neutral. Yeah, I think I'll just use that. That's the only other. Ooh, everything is flipping out of my hands today. Probably will use my paintbrush to flip it around. Kind of like making paper soup or sauteing our paper with some flavoring. right? Sauteing, yeah. I was trying to be funny. All right, I'm gonna do another round. Let's see if I can flip some of this around. Okay, I'm gonna go and heat dry with the heat tool, dry these up, and we'll move on to the next stage of tarting up our paper scraps. All right, loves, I am back, and I just kind of heat tool dried all of my scraps. So if you can guess, Louisa, she spread all of her scraps out on the table, and then she inked her scraps in a random fashion. So I got some of my stamps out, mostly all of them. I'm going to use neutral colors, of course. And just basically, we're just going to spread these out. I know some of them are still damp, but I think it'll be fine. So we're just going to basically spread these out. And just start stamping. So I am going to, I'm going to start with some brown. I haven't used these yet, these numbers. I'm going to keep them on the sticky thing. I'm just going to ink them up. And then just go and randomly try and get most of, you'll see, it makes sense, you know, you're just gonna press it down. I'll do this a couple more times and then get another stamp. So like that. And then once you stamp and make sure you get some of the edges, I really like that. That's like a goldy color. That's probably like, what is this one? Vintage Photo. I see why everyone likes it. It's like a goldy, and yeah. Right, let's see what other stamps. Let's do, got out my blocks. Do this one. I don't know if you can see it. I like this one because there's a variety. There's like a flower and some diamond background and some writing. So you can just do that and see. Isn't that cool? It's just randomness, random goodness. Bring these in. You want to get your edge pieces too. Do one more. This is like one of my favorite stamps. I got them off of Amazon. So let's get the edges over here. It's just total messy fun here, guys. Okay, done with that one. I like to do a border. I have this hard border, so I'm gonna speed up the process here because you guys kind of get the idea. Let me just do one more, and then I'm gonna stir them all up, stir up our paper bits. Oop. Okay, there we go. Edges, edges, edges. I think this edge needs. Okay. Now, stir our paper up, flip it. All right, so Louisa also, she used her Distress inks and stamped some stuff down and then sprayed it with some, well, used some coffee and some water. So I think I'm going to try that. Of course, that's going to make it wet again, so I'll have to dry it. But I am going to, just a little bit of color. I kind of experimented. You might want to think about what colors you're going to use if you're going to use your scraps. So I think I want to keep it neutral, but it's fun to think about some different colors here. So we're just going to continue with the neutral colors because I never know what I'm using. So I'm going to probably use Walnut and Vintage Photo and some black soot. I think I'm going to use some butterflies more. So I think I'll use this butterfly. And then I'll use some Vintage Photo. Some stuff over. Then after I do this, spray some water, and then I think I'll use some white and black paint and splatter. And then we'll take a look at the results. Louisa's stuff came out really good. So I don't think you can really like go wrong with this process because it's still going to look really neat regardless of what you have on hand to use. Even if you don't, you could just use watercolor. But I just got these little mini Distress inks just to try them out to see if it's something I would use a lot going forward, and it didn't really break the bank ordering these. So trying to stamp on some stuff that doesn't have anything on it, as you saw, and of course you saw that I got some stamps and plastic. Right, this will be the last loop. I'm going to do this little flower. This paper doesn't really have much on it, so I think I'm going to put some coffee on it. There we go. Put the lid on before I make a mess. She used a fan brush, and I don't really have a fan brush. I'm just going to use a flat brush and flick or something. So if you, obviously water is going to be a little lighter, but if you use coffee on this Distress ink, it's going to probably make a darker result, and it did on Louisa's video. I know it's still wet, but we'll just see if we can catch. I think I'm just going to use my fingers. So there's some ink there. Let's see what happens. It's fun if you don't mind getting messy. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there, dry my hands, and then I'm gonna spray some water on again. So let's find one with coffee. So there's one with coffee. And we can do some water too. All right, so I'm gonna go dry this stuff again with my heat tool. come back and we'll add some paint splatters and see what kind of results we get. Kind of cool. Okay, so I'm gonna try, I thought of something different though. I'm gonna do some white paint, but can't really spare, I don't have any white gesso that's watered down right at the moment. I don't know how this white's gonna turn out. I guess I could flick my brush. I did find a fan brush actually, a little one. We'll see how that does. Oh yeah, that is definitely something to try. Okay. Maybe we'll do the black. But here's my thought. I mean, I'm not much of a splatter girl, but I do like glitter. So, what do you think if I put this down and then sprinkle some glitter on it? It should stick to some of the paint, right? Now, I do like the black dots. So, I have some of this Crystal Transparent, ultra fine. I don't know, but it's kind of like if I mix it up it might stick, so that might be kind of cool. And do I have anything else? I'm gonna add a little bit of pink, just a splatter, maybe. Woo, fairy dust, I guess. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix it up. Some of you guys are probably going, holy cow, she did it with glitter. And I'm like, yeah, I sure did do it with glitter. I'm loving it. And I'm hoping it sticks to some of it because it's not completely dry. So it may just all fall on the... Okay, let's do some more black because that was pretty cool. The fan brush is definitely a must, guys. I've never done this with a fan brush. I've seen it all over creators doing this, and it's very cool. I kind of like maybe want to do it more with some coffee though. Here's some my watered down white, but I do some coffee, or I can just put some of that black in here with the coffee and make it an espresso. So you're probably wondering, okay, so paper scraps, we grunged up and jazzed up, or whatever you want to call it, some paper. So what you can do with these, obviously, is do some collage with it. You can do snippet rolls or clusters, just little embellishments on your junk journals or journal pages. I'm gonna do some more coffee. Anyway, I think they look pretty cool. All of this is pretty subtle. And obviously you want to use the colors that you want to use, or just whatever you have on hand. I just wish I had some dirty watercolor palette that I could have cleaned up, but oh well. Okay, we'll do some more white. And then I'm going to add some more glitter. I know. I just like a little sparkle. It's pretty neat. Okay. Let's just add a little bit more glitter. And we'll let that dry. And then we'll get a close-up of how this all turned out. You know what I could do? No, that's not going to work. Because it's watered down, what do you call it? Watered down Mod Podge, and that would just make everything stick, and that is not the point of this. Okie dokie, guys. I see some glitter. Ooh, look at that. Can you see the little glitter? I don't know if you can see it in this light. See a little bit of it? Ooh, look at this. You see? A little bit. Ooh, ooh, look at this one. Anyways, Let me let this dry. And we'll do some close-ups of my... Look, I got a lot of it on my desk. Look at that glitter. You see it? All right, guys. Okay, guys, so I'm having way too much fun. I have some of this spray adhesive because there was so much glitter down here. So I moved this away and I just gently sprayed some spray adhesive down. And then I just went like this. And then I took my brushes. I don't know where my other brush, here it is. And I dipped one in some black and one in some white, and I kind of just did what you would do with like stir fry, only with my papers. And it's making marks too. I'm trying to get some of that glitter spread around so it's not on my table, but I was having fun with this, so I thought I'd share the moment. You know, gotta have fun. Woohoo! So, yeah. Isn't that what it's all about? Anyway, okay. All right, so I'm pretty much done here. Louisa, she states that she's going to coffee dye her scraps first and then apply wet gesso and then do her distress inks, and it makes a really cool effect. Obviously, you're going to want to play around and, you know, figure out what your style and your colors are. I'm enjoying the glitter parts, you know, pretty random, diverse colors. Yeah, but these will stay in here, and I'm going to let them dry, and I will play with these scraps as I need them, and I'll probably make a lot of paper lace with them, I think, because I really like the paper lace thing. And yeah, so that's the prompt today, paper. So guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope this encourages you to experiment with your paper scraps. And I will see you tomorrow. And remember, wherever you are, know I love you. Bye guys, see you tomorrow.